Hi, I'm Catherine Wilson, and this is my seminar for EDE 4103, Multi-Level Early Childhood Pedagogy and Curriculum. The metaphor I have chosen to represent the image of a child in my mind is a balance scale. The balance scale encompasses my beliefs and understandings of how a child engages in the school community and in their individual learning process. On one side of the balance scale, the child needs to ensure that everything coming in is positive, healthy and productive in their lives, from good nutrition to rest and recovery, healthy positive friendships, a good education in a nurturing and safe environment. On the other side, we consider what the child is bringing to his or her environment, such as energy, enthusiasm for learning, prior knowledge and experiences. The student is only able to thrive if everything is in balance. So if they're unsettled or have issues at home, they may need some additional support at school to keep life in balance. My metaphoric balance scale is linked closely to Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory because it acknowledges that all areas of a child's life are interwoven and can impact on the overall well-being of that child. Bronfenbrenner informed that the role of a teacher is to foster and encourage positive relationships with everyone involved in the learning environment. The work of Bronfenbrenner enables us to really understand the child and the relevance of his or her environment. Teachers need to be aware of all the environments that impact on the life of a child in order to really know that child. For example, the parents, extended family and carers, interests out of school, after school care, and even the local community, as all these impact on the overall well-being and balance of that child. This is the scoring matrix for the Philosophy of Education inventory, taken from Awaking the Sleeping Giant, Helping Teachers Develop as Leaders by Katzenmeier and Moller. The survey enables us to drill down and identify our personal philosophy of education. As you can see from the matrix, my scores were high in each area, ranging from 72 to 89, but the highest score was for behavioural education. This stems from my experience in early childhood settings, where there is a need for class rules and boundaries. Children need to know the expectations for learning and classroom behaviour, and will benefit from this structure and clarity. I was surprised to see the lowest score was for humanistic philosophy of education, as I feel quite strongly about many of the areas of humanistic approach to education. I think it better suits older students once fundamental rules are established. An example being that students are self-directed and able to assume responsibility for their own learning. This level of maturity would not be expected from kindy or prep students. An emphasis on behavioural philosophy aligns with my overall philosophy, but because the results were high in each area, this suggests that my philosophy is also flexible enough to take on board elements of other philosophies as required by the setting and students. The mind map is a graphic tool which enables me to visualise what is important to me as a teacher, based on my values and beliefs. It helps me to appreciate how my behaviours and style of teaching will benefit the students that I teach. As you can see, the beliefs that I value most, and are therefore likely to shape my teaching practices, are very much shaped by early childhood education. They focus on my learning through play, teacher talk, behaviour management, differentiation, significance of the environment, building relationships, nurturing interests, and prior knowledge and scaffolding learners. These core beliefs inform my practice and contribute to who I am as a teacher and how I see myself as a teacher. They also shape my principles of pedagogy. My 5 principles of pedagogy. These 5 principles of pedagogy stem from the 3 previously mentioned sources: the metaphor about the child, the results from the Philosophy of Education inventory, and my mind map. They are: differentiation builds an inclusive learning environment, teacher talk, play to support early childhood education, the environment as the third teacher, and learning through routines. Each will be explained in detail over the next few slides. Principle 1. Differentiation builds an inclusive learning environment. Differentiation is an adjustment of teaching and learning practices and environment to ensure that all students can participate in the same learning experiences, regardless of disability, ethnicity, culture, or religion, alongside their peers. In a differentiated learning environment, students have opportunities to achieve and experience success, and this leads to all students feeling supported and included. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences informs us that children learn differently according to their particular intelligence, such as musical rhythmic, visual spatial, verbal linguistic, logical mathematical, bodily kinesthetic, intrapersonal, interpersonal, and naturalistic. This informs us that as a teacher, if all the lessons we deliver appeal to one particular learning style, students favouring other learning styles would be disadvantaged. According to Vygotsky, the best learning occurs when students are given tasks which are slightly beyond their current ability. If tasks are too difficult, the student will become frustrated and learning will not be successful. And if the tasks are too easy, the student will get bored and switch off. Hence the need to differentiate learning to target the ZPD, or zone of proximal development, of each student. ZPD refers to the learning zone where students are unable to attempt the task alone, but with the scaffolding of a more capable support person, they can succeed. The role of the teacher in a differentiated classroom involves providing different ways to support all students to engage in learning. This is done by using alternate instructions, catering to different levels of ability and prior knowledge, providing different levels of support, targeting different learning styles and a range of interests. By providing students with appropriate learning experiences tailored to meet their specific learning requirements, the behavioural disruptions in the class will be minimised. I like this clip. One size fits all. Of course, because one size definitely doesn't fit all. And that's the importance of differentiation in the classroom. Porter talks about the goodness of fit principle and explains that students will have the ability to function correctly when we provide them with what they need to learn. A differentiated curriculum involves removing barriers and ensuring the curriculum is accessible to all. It allows the classroom teacher to develop an inclusive learning environment that will support a diverse group of learners and helps to ensure that all students can be challenged, supported, and remain balanced. For a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. Teacher Talk is a tool used by teachers to interact with children and teach curriculum content. It is used to build a more inclusive and purposeful teaching and learning environment. A dialogic teacher strives to deliver authentic interactions, which enable students to learn through this use of language, which becomes the language that the child will use to develop their thinking. The work of Vygotsky led us to understand that there is a significant relationship between learning and language, and that it is a child's language alongside their interaction with their social environment that enables their development. Vygotsky informed that a child's meaning-making is enhanced by engaging in dialogue with more experienced others. Barbara Rogoff built on this further by stating that language plays a significant role in mediating learning. She states that this language is converted internally and is then used by the child when required. Students quickly learn what is important through the discourse and language used by their teacher, and by how their lesson is explained through words, actions, and interactions. Edwards Groves describes this as students live the lesson through different patterns of sayings, doings, and relatings. According to Edward Groves, students need to have a fair share of the classroom talk in order to develop a sense of participation, accomplishment, and control of their learning. The Early Years Learning Framework states that play provides opportunities for children to learn as they discover, create, improvise, and imagine. Children's immersion in their play illustrates how play enables them to simply enjoy being. I'm an advocate for play as a medium for early childhood education, as it develops creativity and imagination. It improves numeracy and literacy skills, problem-solving skills, social skills, such as turn-taking and how to get along with your peers, whilst enhancing talking and listening skills. Physical skills are improved, such as coordination, flexibility, and balance. Social and emotional well-being is supported when play increases confidence and reduces stress, anxiety, and fear. Play helps children to become more resilient. It helps in the development of empathy and the ability to appreciate difference, and enables children to gain an understanding of how and where they fit into the world. According to Vygotsky, a child's greatest achievements are possible in play, achievements that tomorrow will become her basic level of real action or morality. Children learn as they play. Most importantly, in play, children learn how to learn. O. Fred Donaldson. Early childhood education has been shaped by social constructivist theory, and theorists such as Vygotsky have led us to implement play to support children to develop social interactions and to enable child development. According to Vygotsky, play is essential for cognitive development in a child. In particular, imaginative play is essential to learning in early childhood. He stated that if children were able to do something imaginatively in play, they would be more likely to succeed in real life. Play, or active learning, can be tailored to suit the student's needs. For example, as children move into prep and lower primary school, play becomes more about inquiry and exploration and less about pretend play. Students can engage in games with rules to support numeracy and literacy in the classroom. Physical play is designed to support fine and gross motor development, and this movement style play should be planned and linked to curriculum requirements. Exploratory play may include rotational activities where children are provided with stations to inspire investigation and exploration, such as a sand trolley or water area. Manipulative play involves the use of construction materials, blocks and puzzles. Again, the use of manipulatives can be linked to curriculum requirements by giving students specific tasks. They may be asked to select, count, think about how to use the blocks or what to build. Socio-dramatic play gives children an opportunity to engage with and learn from real-life experiences and settings. And fantasy play is another way to engage students in learning whilst having fun. We know that play supports children to develop social skills, and that helps them to build positive relationships. Playing with others helps children to make sense of their world and build a positive sense of self. The satisfaction and joy associated with play and the opportunity to be free and escape pressures to achieve or succeed helps children to develop a strong sense of well-being, which contributes to the overall balance in a child's life. My fourth principle: the environment as the third teacher. Teachers are tasked with providing opportunities for students to work collaboratively and independently within a range of spaces to ensure that learning is interesting and challenging. A well-designed, aesthetically pleasing learning environment fosters a sense of ownership and respect and engages children. A learning environment should support a child's developing competencies and skills and enable them to be independent and make decisions, which will empower them to learn. Such environments help children to develop a feeling of security. The furniture and equipment within their environment provides them with independence because they are able to do things for themselves. Vygotsky informed that learning happens when we interact with the environment, and because we have learnt, we are able to develop. The teachers at Reggio Emilia believe the learning environment is so significant in the teaching process that they refer to it as the third teacher. All classrooms have two teachers. The Reggio Emilia ethos is to carefully create beautiful spaces for children because they are entitled to have the very best. Children are seen as powerful, strong and rich, and this is considered when the environments are designed so that they are able to support engaged learners. A constructivist approach states that new knowledge and understandings are developed when students have opportunities to experience and reflect on their environment. In reality, this means the equipment is appropriate and easy to use and accessible. Tables and chairs are at the correct height. Hooks, lockers, bathrooms are all easy to use, and this will encourage children to be independent. This includes access to resources and equipment, a balance of experiences to encourage exploration, experimentation and hypothesizing. Open-ended materials support a wide range of abilities and styles of learning. Access to special areas dedicated to experiences, for example, arts and crafts, books and literacy, blocks and building materials, all help children to engage in learning. They should also be provided with opportunities to investigate things of interest, such as natural materials, to allow them to investigate and explore through their senses. An environment which provides interesting, rich and built-in learning experiences provides teachers with more opportunities to interact, and engage with the children. The environment is a critical part of a child's development, and according to the behavioural perspective, behaviour is learnt and shaped by the environment. Sandberg describes the relationship that we develop to our environment. Children create memories and associated values and feelings with their physical environment. Therefore, a child's learning space is significant in their development of childhood memories, all helping to develop that healthy balance in the child's overall well-being. My fifth principle is the importance of learning through routines. Efficient and well-planned routines are a positive classroom management strategy implemented to provide children with a sense of security and control over their environment. Routines allow children to know what the expectations are in terms of achievement and behaviour. It is a proactive strategy which allows the teacher to develop positive behaviour rather than manage negative behaviour. Change and uncertainty can be problematic for young children, but routines help them to feel comfortable and relaxed if learning is delivered from the safe boundaries of a routine. Routines can assist in integrating learning and help to reduce stress, anxiety and conflict and regulate emotions. Routines are also an opportunity for teachers to interact meaningfully with their students. The UK's Teacher of the Year, Libby Price, states that one of the most important things she has implemented into her prep classrooms are routines. Designing the routine is a collaborative process with the students, but the quicker the routines are established, the more secure the students feel. Routines enable her to build things into the school day that children are familiar with and can relate to, and the students have fun doing them. Routines include frequently scheduled organisational teaching and learning episodes that are related to daily interactions in the classroom. They might include classroom reflections, planning collaboratively, morning routines, fine or gross motor development, literacy and numeracy, practice of skills, reflections or recounts of information. Implementing classroom routines can positively influence the cognitive, emotional and social development of a child. By providing them with consistent and predictable schedules, children are able to feel comfortable and secure, thus supporting the balance in their lives. So in conclusion, teachers make a difference. Hattie's research into what makes a great teacher found that the achievement a child makes is dependent on many aspects, for example, home, peers, school, the principal themselves, and their teacher. A total of 30% of a child's achievement comes from their teacher. So what a teacher knows, does, and cares about is extremely important and extremely relevant to the achievement of each child. This research made me think very deeply about what is important to me as a teacher and the sort of teacher that I would be based on my values and beliefs. Creating my mind map was a reflective exercise which guided my thinking, along with my metaphor of the balance scale and the results from the Philosophy of Education survey. It is extremely important, for example, for students to have the opportunity to be creative, to explore and investigate things for themselves, but this needs to be balanced alongside my early childhood focus, meaning that rules, boundaries, and routines are essential for successful experiences. Thank you for watching my seminar. I'm Catherine Wilson.